Hello Internet, I am the hero of Julios, back again with another One Piece chapter summary, and we're going to be going over chapter 992, Remnants. Now, it's been a couple weeks since our last chapter. We had a little bit of a scare with Oda getting sick, and as we all know, that's something that the entirety of the One Piece community worries about. That can be said for the fandom of any mangaka, but it's nice to know that he's doing fine. He's back to work. He's doing what he enjoys, and we get to enjoy his creation once again. So this week's chapter starts off with a cover page. It's not continuing the story of Capone's family. It's actually just a nice little color spread of the Straw Hats riding on a sea train. You finally have Jinbei included. I believe this is his first official color spread with the rest of the crew as an official member, so that's pretty nice for us. In addition, sitting on the sea train with them is, I have the character written down, Kumamon, I believe is how it's pronounced. Sadly, I know he's a Japanese mascot, but this meme I'm going to include it. I'm going to put it on the screen. This meme is the first time I ever saw this character, and the only reason I'm telling you this story is to let my little sister know that I still remember that meme. It was a really big inside joke between the two of us for a bit. So anyways, anecdotes aside, we're going to jump right into the chapter. No cover story to talk about. Not a lot happens in this chapter in terms of like the progression of story. However, a lot happens in the progression of the Nine Scabbards versus Kaido. We'll get to that after we sum up the rest of the chapter. So the chapter begins with Perospero talking to Big Mom. I guess he and Marco did actually team up. Their goal was to take down Kaido and help, I guess help the Straw Hats and Big Mom, and maybe the plan was to take sides afterwards, but we know that their initial plan was to take down Kaido together. However, Big Mom corrects Perospero on this, letting him know that the alliance was her idea, which I find very interesting because Big Mom was the one who came to Kaido with the intention of not letting that happen, of not letting Luffy take over the world. However, perhaps during her little sparring match with Kaido, that's when it finally clicked in her mind. Maybe we did not give Big Mom enough credit. She can act very childish, but this may be a sign that there is some tactician deep down inside of her. I'm interested to see where this goes. However, I also find it interesting that Big Mom only just like talks to Marco. She's like, one of the four emperor, one emperor to the subordinate of another. Why are you helping Straw Hat Luffy? Your captain is dead. What are the Whitebeard pirates doing these days? And Marco says, I don't think you understand how a remnant works. Remnants are free will. We have our own decisions. It's not like Whitebeard gives us orders anymore. We're free to do whatever we want. And Big Mom just lets him go. She's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So, by all means, go off. Help the little boy. We'll see where this goes. I don't know if it's because Big Mom didn't want to fight Marco so much as maybe fighting Marco would have been too much of a nuisance. He's clearly not afraid of her because of how casually he spoke to her. It would probably end up like a Jinbei scenario where she does, the cake or death ability that she has, and he would have just, said, life, I'm gonna walk away. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what Marco's plans are, since now he's sort of a third party in all this. I mean, he's going to obviously help Luffy, but I'm interested to see what convinced him to come. Like, what's his final goal? So, continuing on from there, Carrot, we see Carrot and Wanda running off. Carrot knowing that who she saw and saying that she's going to avenge Pedro. This may lead to our next matchup. We know we have Nami and Usopp fighting Ulti and Page 1, which We see no progress on that fight. I was really excited for that, but we're just going to have to wait another turn for that, another chapter. So I'm going to guess the next matchup is going to be the Avenging of Pedro, Wanda and Carrot versus Perospero, because no offense to Carrot, I don't think she's ready for a one-on-one fight yet, personally. But in addition to Carrot running, we see Luffy and Sanji have finally broken away from the rest of the combat. The samurai tell Luffy, go on, we got this. The samurai are doing their part by keeping the riffraff out of Luffy's hair so that Luffy doesn't have to worry about that and he can just go straight to Kaido. I'm gonna guess Sanji's going with him strictly for air support, and Zoro will catch up after he and X-Drake finish off against Apu and Queen. Next we see Yamato still chasing after Shinobu and Momo. Not really anything else happens there. And then we cut to Black Maria talking to some of her subordinates. Black Maria's talking about how, do you think the fighting's going to get over here? And her subordinates are like, we don't know. And it's sort of just, she's sitting there, she sings a song to them. So we know Black Maria can play the mandolin. We have learned something new about Black Maria. I still want to see her fight because I'm kind of interested in how did she become one of the Flying Six if she has no desire to fight. So how did she even get to that rank? So she either has that much control over the Pleasure District and maybe Kaido just keeps her around as arm candy, or she's a really strong fighter. Honestly, it's a coin toss at this point. I'm starting to wonder if she's even going to get in a fight. Not every Straw Hat gets a one-on-one fight, so who's to say all the Beast Pirates get one? That being said, we finally cut over to the battle at the top of Onigashima, and it has been so long since we have gotten a fight scene of this caliber in One Piece. It is 14 pages of action, and I'm going to include some clips just because describing all of it at once isn't really easy to do. We just see the special attacks of each member of the Scabbards. Kaido's charging forward. Apparently when Kaido roars, he can create lightning, so maybe weather manipulation is a part of his devil fruit power. We still don't even know the name of Kaido's devil fruit. I don't think it's ever been confirmed what the actual name is. But it's amazing how much movement can be in a still image. And I personally very much enjoyed this fight. But the biggest part of this fight that really threw me through a loop, at least, the Scabbards can hurt him. And Kaido, is literally known for being invincible. And as they are damaging him, Kaido's own crew is looking on, saying, whoa, hey, Captain's actually losing? And even Kaido, thinking to himself, is like, how is this happening? Why am I getting hurt? Why does this hurt? We even see, Rizzo actually take a scroll and absorb Kaido's blast breath and then reflect it right back at him. Either ninjutsu is really OP in One Piece, or Rizzo has the power of a devil fruit. I never thought about that, but I wouldn't be shocked if he ate something like the scroll fruit, which would give him ninjutsu power that can reflect anything as long as he absorbs it in the scroll first. We'll just have to see when the next ninjas get into a fight. The Oniwanbashu, I believe they're pronounced. I butchered that name and I know it. But anyways, once the other ninjas finally start fighting, we'll get to see if all ninjutsu is just a form of devil fruit power, or if ninjutsu is the real deal. So, I'm looking forward to that. That's interesting to see. Aside from that, though, Kinemon and the others have a brief moment of remembrance. They're thinking about Oden and how back when Oden was with them, he was trying to teach them about his technique. He was trying to teach them about advanced armament advanced armament hockey. or Rio as it's called in Wano. And while it seemed like they didn't pay attention to him back then, Toki lets him know that the reason they stick to their own fighting styles is because they would try to imitate him so perfectly that they would basically spar each other to death. They would kill each other to show how much they love Oden. And this culminates in the four, I guess, top members of the Scabbards, which is Kinemon, Ashura Doji, Denjiro, and Inu, Duke Dogstrom. They all take the same stance that that Oden did, and they use his technique to wound Kaido in the exact same spot that Oden did. While I don't think that's going to be a finishing blow, because it didn't finish off Kaido in the first place, there's a lot of symbolism here, harking back to actually the very beginning of this chapter, where Marco makes the statement about Remnant has free, the remnants of a crew have free will. Yes, they wanted to stick to their own techniques, but they love and appreciate Oden so much that they did learn it. They did learn what he had to offer. They just never showed it to him, I guess. I don't know if it was just the four of them because they were the most dedicated to Oden, or if they were the most powerful of the Scabbards. But I would like to see if the rest of them also know Oden's two-sword style, because if they do, then Kaido is definitely going to be in for quite the fight. It definitely throws off any theory I had about the fighting into question, because I thought, when Luffy got there, they were all going to be on the ground, and Luffy was going to be like, oh my gosh, what happened? And they were going to be like, oh, he's too strong, you have to save us. But no, I think that's something I really like about One Piece is, yes, Luffy is the main character, but that doesn't mean Luffy is the only person who can save the day. And I think this chapter was the reality check that most fans needed, myself included. So I'm looking forward to the next chapter. I want to see the aftermath of this attack on Kaido, because the chapter ends with this glorious slash in Kaido's weak spot. So we'll just have to wait until next week to find out what happens. But that being said, I look forward to next week to see what happens, because as far as I know, we do not have a break this week. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next chapter. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.